What's up, Scarlet Arrow fam? It's Derek, and today we're going to take a look at a video that is the 7 best side hustles for making some money. So let's get into it.
Beginner-friendly side hustles that anyone can do.
There's been times I've made like maybe $800 in a day.
$3,000 to $4,000 a month.
$60 to haul off a TV and a mattress.
One more sale will hit $50,000.
And when I say anyone, I mean you don't need any special skills to start making money with these. I mean anyone can do them. I'm not going to tell you something generic like start an e-commerce store or start a blog. These are actual unique side hustles that I have personally tried or have experience with that literally anyone can start. You see, when I started out...
Okay, so it's really important that he's saying that these 7 side hustles are something that you can do with not a lot of money down and not a lot of energy. So let's see how true that really is.
As an entrepreneur, I had no idea what I was doing. I tried tons of different businesses and side hustles to make extra cash. I tried internet businesses, service businesses, weird flipping product hacks, all the different gig economy apps. Some made me nothing. Some made me $100 a day.
Something makes me feel like we're going to be doing something similar to that. There's
$3,000 a day on average. So let's jump in.
$3,000 a day on average.
Friendly side hustles that you can start. Side hustle number 1 is Sharetown.
Sharetown.
The bulk of this is coming through Sharetown.
There's been times I've
This actually is a pretty good one. There's a lot of people in my city that are doing this already. I've looked into it. Had an application out a couple times, but it really comes down to what they're looking for as far as the amount of product that's available. But let's listen a little bit more.
made like maybe $800 in a day.
$3,000 to $4,000 a month.
Now, what Sharetown does is facilitates returns for online furniture companies. When an online furniture company sells you a product and you decide that you want to return it, many times that product can't fit back in the box. Say a mattress. Once you cut it open, it expands and you can't fit it back in the box. So Sharetown hires reps in each town to come pick up these basically brand new furniture returns and bring them back to their house. Now, what you do is Sharetown will give you all the images, descriptions, everything you need to post these like new furniture pieces on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, OfferUp, and when they sell, you split the final sale price with Sharetown. Now, many of these are online mattress companies where mattresses sell from anywhere from $300 to $700. There are a lot of testimonials and people who are doing Sharetown as a side hustle, making $3,000 to $4,000 a month. You can pick the days and
$3,000 to $4,000 a month is probably right on. It's not going to be as big of a, you're not going to have a lot of marketing, so it's not going to make you a ton of money. You also have to figure in that you're going to have to go pick these things up. You don't know what condition they're in. There may be, all it takes is one outbreak of bed bugs if you're doing mattresses, and it's going to be a real issue. So definitely do your homework before you jump into something like that, but also go onto Facebook Marketplace and see how many mattresses are available. Because if there's a lot of them that are on there being advertised, then more than likely there's already somebody in your town doing this.
the times that you want to pick up the items. So it's very much on your own time. Can be a great side hustle to do on the weekend or to supplement.
You're on your own time, but you're also at the discretion of whoever you're picking it up from. They're not just going to leave it out in their driveway for you to pick it up. So you're going to have to schedule it on your time and hope that it fits theirs. And most people are going to have jobs. So this is probably going to be a weekend and evening type of hustle. But it's not saying it's all going to be that, but more than likely, it's not just going to fit into what's most convenient to you, except for the selling part. When you're having people come look at it, that's when it'll be convenient to you. But going to pick these up from other people, that's going to be on there.
Any junk removal, all you need is proof that you have a pickup truck or an SUV. Very simple and easy form to fill out online to get started.
And actually, the form asks you also if you have a trailer. So you're not always limited to just an SUV and truck, but they do ask for the full year, make, model, everything. They want to know what you're driving.
Now, number 2 is Amazon product arbitrage.
I've sold almost $5 million worth of name brand products on Amazon.
$2,000 profit off the shipment.
Going to TJ Maxx today to see what I can find to resell on Amazon.
Now, there's a lot of people making 6 figures a year doing this full time, but you can also do it on the side and make a little bit of extra cash. So
there are a lot of people doing this. You can do all kinds of stuff through this, and it's not just on Amazon. I'd almost recommend doing eBay instead of Amazon. I sold on Amazon for almost 5 years, sold that business, and Amazon. What's nice about this, and we'll get a little bit into it more, is that if you're doing arbitrage, the product description, the keywords, all that stuff's already set up. You're just letting Amazon know that you've got it. There's 2 different ways of doing that. You either send it into the warehouse or you do it from your house. So it's either FBA, which is fulfilled by Amazon, or you're doing that yourself, which means you're in charge of shipping and all the other stuff that comes with it, but you're not tied to warehouse fees if you send it in. So there's pluses or minuses, but Let's see what else he has to say about this one.
You do is you're going to want to download an Amazon barcode reading app. You can scan any product in any store and it'll tell you how much that product is selling for on Amazon. So go into local deal stores like TJ Maxx, Walmart clearance section, Ross, Marshalls, and look for deals. When you see something that's marked down or on clearance, scan it with the barcode scanner and see how much it's selling for on Amazon. Maybe they're selling in the store for $5, but they sell on Amazon for $30. Sometimes they will even have an entire pallet or an entire rack of those products. You could buy 100 cell phone cases that are selling on clearance at $5. And when you scan them, you see on Amazon they're selling for $29. Buy them all, take them back to your house. All you have to do is package them up and ship them into Amazon. And when they sell, you get the cash. Now,
so he's talking about FBA, where you're sending it into Amazon, they're doing all the work, which is a great model if you know what you're doing. So what I mean by that is, when it comes to what he's suggesting, say the $5 for $29, Amazon's going to take their cut of the pie, right? Because they're the ones bringing the traffic to that specific item. They're also going to take a piece of the pie because you're sending it into them. They're going to charge you for the shipping, or the handling and wrapping and packaging and all that. They're also going to charge you to store it. So what they're not talking about is you need to do research to see how fast those products are moving. Just because you find a product that you can buy cheap and sell it for a reasonable amount of money, you've got costs involved, and you've got to understand exactly how long it's going to sit, how long you're going to risk the money of it sitting there and taking away at your profits. There's a lot of things you got to deal with and think about. Also, there are certain categories that you're not going to immediately jump right into when you first register for Amazon. Typically, any kind of product that is absorbed by the skin or consumed by your mouth is something that there's a high risk, and there's all kinds of hoops you have to jump through before you can start selling that stuff. So start very basic. I would start very small. Like, the ultimate dream for anybody that wants to become super rich on Amazon is get ahead of like the fidget spinners before they became big, because they're small. You can air ship them in. If they do sit on the shelves, they're not taking a lot of space. It's low on shipping. You can buy them in mass. Like, everything about that is perfect. But if you go buy, let's see, there's a grill or a crock pot you find at Walmart, and you're like, man, this says I can 5 times my money. Well, by the time you ship it to Amazon, it sits in Amazon, and then they ship it to someone else, plus they take their fees out. More than likely, all you did was just make Amazon a bunch of money.
like I said, there's a lot of people making great money doing this. As you do it more and more, you're going to see which stores have great clearance items and which products are going to sell best. You can do this with books. You can do this with electronics. You can do this with clothes.
Books are expensive. Electronics are risky because they may not work. Clothes is going to be the safest of all that. But then you're also dealing with people that buy 5 of the same thing of different sizes, try them on, and send back what doesn't fit. So when you have to deal with returns, that's also a problem. So become an expert in 1 or 2 different items. Look for those everywhere, and then grow from there. Don't just jump into this without trying.
You might as well get this barcode scanning app and scan some products and see if there's anything that you can get some good profit margin on. Just buy and take home and then resell for more. And number 3 is Craigslist flipping. Free queen mattress, get $50 to $100 for that, easy.
$1,800 per week flipping couches.
Yeah, you can make so much money couch flipping.
Here's how I make extra money selling lawnmowers.
Now, you can make amazing money in Craigslist flipping. There's a lot of people who make 6 figures or more full-time incomes just flipping items on Craigslist. The key is you need to know what to look for and where to find the deals. So you want
Very true. You need to know what to look for and where to find the deals. You need to pay attention to, if you're flipping lawnmowers, does it work? How long's that gas been sitting there? All kinds of things you need to be looking for. Couches is risky as heck to me. I would not touch couches because you don't know how much dirt and nastiness you're taking with you. There could be needles in it. There's all kinds of hazard. And especially if you're bringing it to your house or your garage, whether it's a couch or a bed, you could be bringing bed bugs in, and then it's not even worth the amount of money that you're going to possibly make. So do research, and really what I would suggest doing is start doing it ahead, like start doing it on paper, seeing what it's going for, and then pay attention to what you think you could sell it for.
to find high ticket items that are going to have more room for profit. There's a lot of people who just want to get things off their hands and are getting rid of things for free or very cheap that have quite a bit of value. You want to look for things like mattresses, couches. You can find a broken lawnmower, go home, fix it up, and sell that, and usually make $100, $200 profit. High-end baby items, furniture pieces, if you want to take those back and refinish them, can make a
Furniture pieces are going to have a lot better opportunity than any of the other things he talked about just because of risk reward. Like, I want to analyze things before I jump in there and think I'm going to make money and have a bunch of junk in my garage and hope that I break even. Anything that's moving, mechanical, electrical, or something that an animal could live in, or you could be bringing things back into your house, I typically stay away from. But when you find something like this that's got furniture that you can just strip down, repaint, put it back together, maybe put some new hardware in, you can make some decent money at that, especially with, speaking of Amazon, buying hardware from there at cheap in bulk. You can really increase your margins and increase your chances of making some money by doing something like that.
Quite a bit of profit. Electronics, you just want to look for anywhere that you can get a deal and turn around and sell something for more. Now, if you see something for free, you're going to want to be quick to go pick it up because there's other people that are looking to snap those items up. This is a great thing to do on the weekends to supplement another job and can turn into a full-time income. Some people will even focus on a specific item. There's a guy making well into the 6 figures a year, picking up high quality cameras, fixing them up, and then reselling them. There's also people who do this with couches, refinish them.
He said couches so many times, it's ridiculous. I've known people that have tried that, and literally they told me as soon as you bring home a couch that either has needles or bugs in it, you're done. So be picky when you go see those things. He's really telling the truth about the free items. So there's all kinds of free stuff you can get, even if it's just a bunch of wood you stack in your truck and then you can sell it. So that's actually a pretty good idea too. I've seen and done things that have made good money picking up the free things and selling them.
Clean them up, and many people are making $1,000, $2,000 a week just flipping couches alone. Furniture flipping can be very lucrative. You just have to know where to find the deals. Number 4 is a little known hack that might be one of my favorite ways to find side hustle jobs. A lot of people think that Indeed.com is just for corporate jobs, but if you go on there and type in contract work and in your area, you can find people and companies looking for people who will do contract work on the side for them. And there's a bunch of jobs in a bunch of different categories that you can sort through. Now, you can choose if you want it to be remote or hybrid, where you actually go to an actual location. You can choose the job type if you want it to be full-time. So part-time would be best for a side hustle. Grocery shopper, dog groomer, delivery driver needed, $200 to $300 a day. Bagel courier, office assistant, $300 a week, part-time. Delivery driver, $25 to $29 an hour, part-time. Then you can also choose if you want to be fully remote, and that you can go within 100 miles or even more. Freelance interpreter, $18 an hour. But definitely just scroll through Indeed, see if you find anything interesting. It can be very surprising at how many cool jobs there are out there that you can do on the side for some extra cash. Number 5 is...
Keep in mind, everything that he said there is you're trading your time for money. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're in a pinch and you just got your back against the wall and you've got to figure out a way to come up with a couple $100. Maybe your car just broke down, you've got a mechanic bill. We've all been there. There's always something in life that you've got to figure out a way to come up with some extra money, and there's nothing wrong with that. But just don't kid yourself into thinking if I do this for extenuating period of time, that you're all of a sudden going to have all this extra income and you're going to start to be able to quit your job. You're not going to be able to quit your job doing any of these things.
The little hack that you can do using a site called Printful and Etsy. So what you're going to want to do...
This one is actually one that I really like, and I actually am working on a shop that's going to have something similar to this. And you can also incorporate something not quite the same, but very similar with Amazon. So this one is one I would definitely keep track of and start to use your creativity. Then this becomes a full other video on how to use keywords and SEO and different things for making sure that you rank high. But this one's good. Just know that your research ahead of time is going to be make or break, because like he says here, like if you look at the very top, you see it says mom and daughter shirts. So mom and daughter shirts is a very broad. It's not very limiting in the keyword search. And so you're getting all kinds of different shirts out there. For you to rank higher than all these people that have been doing that for a while is going to be really difficult. So the research you're going to have to do is something that's going to be maybe a politician or a sports person says some quote that starts to go viral. Grab that when it first happens before everyone else. Put that on here and try to rank up higher. It's whoever has that real estate when it first goes on. If you're not in the first page, people aren't going to click to pages 2, 3, and 4 to find something that's what they're really like. Their attention is gone. You want to grab it. You want to get them to click on it. You want to get them to buy it. Even if you're offering coupons, you've got to figure out a way to get it right away. Otherwise, they're gone.
Do first is go over to Etsy and find a niche that is selling very well. So something like matching mom and daughter shirts. And you can see there's a bunch of shirts on here that are selling a lot. This one has 59,000 reviews. This one has 14,000 reviews.
So 59,000 reviews, 14,000 reviews. Put yourself in the shoes of the consumer. If you're the one that's on the far right and you see all these shirts that maybe it's a tie, maybe the pricing's all the same, maybe the design is very similar, and the only thing that is that you're going off of is price. You can't always be the cheapest and get the most sales, especially when you're having 14,000 reviews and you've got zero sitting right next to it. Proof of concept and proof of quality are going to outshine it. Would you not spend an extra $2 knowing that that product or that shirt that you're about to buy is something you're going to enjoy and it fits right and the colors are true? Reviews matter. So you're going to have to just jump into something where you're either having an opportunity to be the best or realize that you're going to have to work your way up to that. But this is still a really good idea, but it's not a quick hustle. This is more of a slow game.
Then you're going to make your own design that's different. So once you find your niche, what you're going to want to do is go over to Canva. And this is a free design website where it's very easy to design mugs, t-shirts, sweatshirts, a bunch of different products. You can find a bunch of pre-made t-shirt designs, mug designs, sweatshirt designs that you can then delete the words that they have and put your own words in. You can even search specific things like mom t-shirts and it'll give you designs that
you pay for the pro version, you can use AI to design stuff too. It's pretty neat. Don't ever count on it spelling correctly, but
all you have to do is go over to a site called Printful. So Printful has everything from stationery to t-shirts to sweatshirts to mugs to glasses,
print on demand. It's
bowls,
awesome.
Phone covers, and you can put your customized design from Canva that you created on any of these items, and Printful will drop ship it automatically for you. It's connected directly to your Etsy store, so when an order comes in through your Etsy store, it will go directly to Printful and they'll ship it out for you. You don't have to pay upfront for the products or hold a whole bunch of inventory. They will just ship
inventory. Remember what I was talking about, the one before this, about the Amazon thing? That's literally what is important about it, because you're not holding product. You do the design, then you drive traffic. Everyone else does all the work for you. They take the order, they print the order, they get it ready, they ship it. All you do is collect a paycheck when that's done. So that's why I really like this model. It may be a slower play, but if you do it right and you understand how to make your keywords optimized and be at the top, then all you're worried about is some good reviews so you can get your sales. And then it's truly just printing money. But you've got to make sure that you get towards the top of that page and that the quality is there.
A single item for you directly to your customer. Number 6 is monetize your passion. If there's something that you're really interested in and knowledgeable in, it can be anything from dogs to dancing to triathlons to Pokemon cards. Start making a ton of content on that topic. Whatever you're most comfortable doing. You can start a Facebook group. You can start posting on Instagram. You can make YouTube videos. They don't have to be anything professional. You just have to start posting and creating a following.
The more comfortable you get in front of a camera, in front of a microphone with lights and cameras and action, the better you're going to get. And the only way you're going to do that is through practice. So jump out there, hold your phone in front of you. I mean, your phone is probably the best thing to start with. It's not like it was 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. These phones are better than most of the production cameras that people are buying or using. So you can do this. And most people, when I'm doing my one-on-one counseling with people and I'm trying to help get the best out of them and find solutions like this when the money is tight, you start to ask questions. What are you good at? What are you passionate about? People can do. I had a guy that was $4,700 in debt, needed to get out of debt to raise his credit so he could buy a car because his car just broke down. And we talked and we talked and we talked. And come to find out, the guy had a third bedroom that was packed full of junk that he didn't want to admit he went dumpster diving for, but it was all free, which means 100% margins. He put it on Facebook Marketplace. Within 3 weeks, he had sold everything in that room and had more than enough money to fix his car. It's just crazy how things work, but you are your own limit. So you've got to get out of your own head, start to think, start to ask questions to yourself, to others. What am I good at? What are my talents? Everybody has a story, everybody has talents. You just got to take your talent and maximize it and turn it into some money.
Following in that niche. This is a little bit more of a long game side hustle, but you can do it whenever you have free time and just create as much content on whatever passion you have that you're knowledgeable in and start putting it out there. Once you build a following, there is endless ways that you can monetize that following. Whether
that's true, but it's not just making content. You've got to edit the content. You've got to post the content. You could have a phone full of awesome videos, but no one's going to know about it but you. So take the first step. You have to take action, but you don't just stop there. Get it out there. And believe me, you get in your own head and you're like, man, no one's going to care about this. No one's going to care about that. there's going to be people that just got to find you. And the only way they're going to find you is by putting it out there. So do it. Just do it. Get it out there.
You start your own products, you start referring out affiliate products, you make money from your YouTube ads. Just start building a following. Down the road, you will realize there is so much potential in being able to monetize that following and that niche that you're so passionate about. And that is an amazing way to build a career about something that you love, or just have it as a side hustle that brings in extra income. Now, this might not be the best if you're looking for money right now, this second, but if you're interested in a long game side hustle, this is one of the best. And number 7, now this is where I found myself making $3,000 plus a day. This is the same business that went from a side hustle that now I run today, that profits over 7 figures a year, and that is home services. Now, you may be thinking, I don't want to start a home service. That's not what I'm looking to do, but hear me out. Every young entrepreneur.
So I'm getting ready to, in 2 days, I'm going to a high school where I help coach kids that are learning how to do professional presentations. Some of the classes that I go to with a specific teacher, it's an entrepreneurial class. We sit down, they come up with a business plan. We help walk them through. This is something every year for the last 3 years I've pushed kids. If you really want to be an entrepreneur, everything this person's about to do, they can do. All you have to do is just have a desire to. People don't like knocking on doors. People don't like asking for sales. But these kind of things, no, people aren't willing to do them. They don't have time, but they will pay you to do it.
Is trying to start the next dropshipping store, Amazon FBA store, AI business, tech business, SaaS business, but the home service industry is wide open for disruption, and in my opinion, the easiest for beginners to get into, and can be a side hustle or a full-time job. A lot of home service companies don't even answer the phone when you call. And
if you're good at it, it can be more than a full-time job. It can be a career. You can have employees. You could literally make this explode. You just have to become an expert at it.
They're just comfortable with the business that they have. It's extremely easy to get into the home services market and start getting jobs right away. There's a simple hack for beginners if you want to start a home service business. Print off a flyer with your face on it and a simple business logo, and maybe a list of a few services that you offer. Then leave some lines down below that are blank. Go around every apartment in your apartment complex or every house in your neighborhood and write a personalized note to each house. Say, hey, I mow lawns. I would charge $40 a week to mow your lawn. Please text or call me if you are interested in my services. Now, this seems very simple, but the personalization with the picture and the writing is something that people do not get these days. It's a lot harder to say no or pass someone up when you see an actual face and the fact that someone took time.
That part's true. If they see a face, then they are going to. But what he's not talking about is if you're not like a 14 to 16-year-old that can't just go get a traditional job, they're going to, the older you get, the more weight that they put on your shoulders as far as responsibility. If you're mowing lawns and a rock goes through their window and you don't have insurance, you're going to get sued. They want that fixed. And that, as a business owner, is a part of it. So when you start to go into people's homes, work on other people's property, there is liability in that. And you really need to get commercial insurance. It's not as expensive as you think, but you need to work that into your pricing, and you need to do it pretty quickly. Like, you could do a couple jobs without it. Roll the dice. We all have to start somewhere, but have it on your goal sheet. Don't take profits until you start to protect yourself in your business, because now you're a true business owner instead of someone that's just trying to make an extra buck.
To write down and look at your house and say what they could do to help you out. You'll be surprised at how many people actually text or call you. If you hand out 100, 200 flyers, which is extremely cheap, you can either print off at home or go to FedEx office and print off some simple, they can be black and white flyers, very cheap, and you'll be surprised at how many people start calling, and you can get more business.
You might not be able to do it at home if you don't have a printer, or don't just go buy a printer. FedEx is kind of on the expensive side. Find out if there's any local printers and explain what they want to do, because if you grow, they're going to grow with you, and their prices are normally a lot better than FedEx. Especially, you're not going to be buying 1,000 or two at a time. You're going to probably start with 50 to 200, somewhere in that range, and they're going to give you way better pricing and willing to work with you on it.
That you know what to do with right off the bat. You can also post on your local Facebook community page about the service that you want to start. Don't be spammy about it, because a lot of groups won't let you post about a business, but just be real and genuine and say, hey, looking to start my own business. If you need any help, I would love to help you with, any of your junk or your home cleaning or walking your dogs. There's so many home services out there that people are looking for, and they always love to help out local entrepreneur rather than going with a big business who they feel might rip them off. The home service industry is very easy to get into, whether you're going to do window washing, gutter cleaning, cleaning, junk removal, dog walking, lawn care, home cleaning, carpet cleaning. It's just endless how many things that you can.
I think what he means by very easy to get into is that you just need to go out and do it. That doesn't mean there's no competition. That doesn't mean getting the jobs are going to be easy. You're going to have to put in the work. But yes, it can be very easy. I'm huge on networking. If you're not networking and building a relationship with people, if you're going to do home services, find a realtor, find a property manager, find an insurance adjuster, because their book of business are people that own homes that are going to need services like that, and you've got to figure out a way to tap into that and start to get referrals. And you may have to give them $10 every time they send you somebody, but I'd rather give somebody $200 knowing I made 2,000 than try to knock on doors and hope it works.
You can do for people. It's very beginner friendly in getting your foot in the door. I started out doing junk removal. I would make a few $100s a day, then $500 a day. Then I started outsourcing people, contractors to do the work for me. So I don't have any employees. I contract out all the work. So there's a lot of different growth.
That's something to be careful with, because the people that are hiring you do not care that you've subbed the work out. They just want it done. But again, back on the insurance side, is if something does happen, they're not going to say, hey, I need their insurance. They're coming after you. Now, if you have insurance, then you obviously vet the people you sub to and make sure they do, so you're not getting a claim. But if they don't, then you're still protected, because ultimately when someone hires you, your name and your business is on the line. So just be careful when you do something like that.
Avenues you can do with home services where you don't have to be the one doing the actual home service work in the long run. That one would be my favorite, especially if you're just starting out and a beginner. Trying to get into a lot of the other online businesses can be a little bit more intimidating and take some more skills, but home services is a traditional industry where even a beginner can get in and start getting some real business. I hope that these 7 side hustles for beginners got your wheels turning, maybe gave you some motivation to go out there and make some extra money on the side. Down below, let me know what those are. I would love to hear them. Or if you try one of these, let me know how it works out.
All right. So in reality, are those side hustles for beginners? I wouldn't say if you're a teenager that you're going to jump out and do most of those. I'd say maybe 20 to 40% of them you might be able to do. But they all, what it boils down to is you putting in the energy and you working harder than whoever the competition may be. If you don't start somewhere, if you're like when I'm counseling people, what I really want to talk to them about when it comes to your finances is think about where you've been at the worst part in time in your life so far. One, you survived, but two, when your back's against the wall, that's when you come out fighting. So come out fighting. If you need money, figure out a way to make it. I become an expert. That's the biggest thing. Like I could go onto Marketplace right now and probably find 10 to 20 different Nintendo Switches on there. I know what they normally sell for, and I know how much I'm willing to pay for them. People do not know how to negotiate. If they're asking $80 for a Nintendo Switch, I'm going to say 50 and be happy with 60 to 70 because I know I could flip it for 100. You have to know your margins, but you also have to realize you've got time to go get it. It may take a month to sell and they're tying up your money. So know how much you're okay with making, know how much you're okay with risking. And if they're firm at 80, it's not worth the time for me to drive there, do all that to make $10 by the time I pay for gas and everything else. I've got to make a certain dollar amount. But I also know certain colors are worth more than others and what to look for. Bring a game with me, make sure it turns on, make sure the game works. You don't, once you get burned once, you don't want to ever get burned again. So figure out maybe 1 to 5 things that you want to be an expert in if you're wanting to flip things. But you have to be an expert in it and know everything about it. Know what shoe sizes are going to be the ones that move the fastest and which ones aren't. If you're going to get into things, it's not just a pair of Jordans that are a certain style or a certain age or a certain color. It's knowing what size, it's knowing what to look for, whether they're real or not, knowing whether they come with a box. All these different things that you need to be paying attention to because you now are the expert. Your time, your money is at risk. So if you dive into any of these things, be an expert. That's all I've got for you today. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Take care.